Let's get it!
Broadcasting to you from a little grass shack in the middle of the Pacific.
Live in the place to be.
Well, they're actually in the Bay Area.
Yes!
But they are the premier Pacifica show that shines a spotlight on positive Pacific Islanders.
You listening to the sound.
Role models coming brown every Thursday night at 6.
East to west, we getting hurt.
Brought to you by Pacifica by Design. It's the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts, Nacky and Carl.
What's up, Nacky?
Hey. Unmute.
It's like a Teams or a Zoom meeting today. We're working on our mute buttons. So we are season 7, episode 42 of the Faika podcast. And today we got our check-ins, both the two teams that matter in the NFL won this past week. So we'll be talking about that. I have my check-ins. I had some personal things going on that's taken me away from PBD. Actually, at my 9 to 5 as well. I'm going to talk about that. In my check-ins, we got and Nacky's check-ins, and we have Melina and Marlene in the back half with our interview with Butter and Spice. And as always, our community announcements. So good to be back, Nacky. What's good?
Yeah, it's, I'm just hanging out, chilling, enjoying the holiday season. My kids are like, some of them were under the weather, like the flu is going around. Or if you have any kind of cold or flu, it seems like every other person that I know has the flu. So y'all need to wash your hands, hand sanitizer. If you have a cold or a flu, stay your ass over there. But, yeah, I'm trying not to get sick because
I got that. I had that.
Once I get sick, done deal. I can't hear for a couple of months. So I've been on all my, and dang it. I got CMOS at the Turkey Trot, Salmon Solutions 5K Turkey Trot. There was a guy there. I'm going to get his information, and he sold CMOS. So I've been taking a spoonful of CMOS every day. My B12, which is helping my immune system, so that I don't get sick. So there you go. And then there's a lot of holiday events coming up. So
I did get sick. That's actually why I did not go to the Turkey Trot. I know I went in my place, and I guess we're going to talk about that. But yeah, I got the same thing. I'd gone to Fort Bragg. My mom was sick. I went down there, and then I got sick, and then I was kind of over it, but not over it. And you and I have a bad habit of passing sickness back and forth because we sit in the car for hours together. So trying to forego that, I thought, well, I guess I'll do the Turkey Trot without me. I want to hear how that went. But yeah, I got it too. So did my Nicole got it. I think it's just going around. It's going around.
It's that time of the year. It's that time of the year. Phil Alapati is checking in. Feel Good Cuts.
Ooh, he got an event coming up.
He has an event this Saturday, as a matter of fact, which is sold out, so you can't get tickets. But it is an amazing, amazing event. And what I love about his event is that no cameras, no phones. You get to shut down for a minute and just enjoy the entertainment that's going to happen. So if you didn't get your tickets, try to catch the next one, which probably won't be until, I don't know, December, Phil, or January. But follow Feel Good Cuts and Phil Alapati on social media so you don't miss out on the next event that's happening this Saturday. Saturday, along with a lot of other great events. This is next. Oh, April. Oh, okay. Dang it, I gotta wait till April. I know. So check out, please follow Phil on social media and keep up with his, he reviews food. He's got a lot of activity going on. So go follow him. But
the bike ride, the dune climbs, that guy's doing a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. And he's also on the board of Pitt, which we'll talk about later because they have their Christmas giveaway coming up, which we'll be there for that. So just a lot of stuff. But we went to the turkey trot, and I feel like we haven't been here in forever and a day because we went to the turkey trot. Salmon Solutions puts on their 5K turkey trot once a year in November. And that day we cooked burgers and had oranges and just gave away food to the participants. And we put up our tents and it was storming. It was storming in the beginning of the walk, but people still showed up and supported. And it was a really good turnout. It was storming that day. And then it was like in and out. And then our grill was giving out on us. And so we were like cooking burgers so slow. And I think the rain might have a lot to do with it because it was gushing into the tent.
So was it raining worse than, was it 2017? When remember it was raining like sideways one year. We had to use Gaynor Siatonga's car, the battery to run the race clock.
Yeah. No, it was worse than that. It was worse than that. But it was like it would rain for 15 minutes and then it would stop. Then it would rain. It was really heavy in the beginning of the race, but then after that, it was like a little bit, then it'll stop, a little bit and stop. But they still had like, I think over 150 people register online. And then people that showed up there in person. And that's where I got my sea moss. And they had PI vendors. Levasa was there. Of course, I got my Levasa gear.
Was it a vendor, the sea moss? Did it come from a PI vendor or was it just?
Yes, it was a PI.
Okay. I'm sure that we're going to get the name of the vendor at some point and we can put that out there. But that's one of the things I love about the turkey trot. It's grown into really a showcase for PI vendors to come out. But the raining doesn't stop it. Remember that one year the smoke was so bad, and people were out there with masks, and people were walking. It rain, shine, smoke. I guess there's no snow in Burlingame, but doesn't matter. They're going to have that event every year.
Yeah. So it was a really good event. We had a good turnout. I was glad to be there. It was me, Mo, Mena, Nainoa, Malia. That was the cooking crew and the cleanup crew. And then Petey was there, and he took pictures and helped break down everything. But it was a really, really good event, and I really enjoyed myself. So, and then, so my grandbaby Leo turned 2. I know, he's so cute. He turned 2, and then he too had like a little cold or flu. And so we couldn't celebrate on his actual birthday. So last night we went to Chuck E. Cheese and just had his Mac's parents and siblings and Kaya's parents and siblings. And I love Kaya's parents. They're really good people. And her sister was there who was also pregnant and having a boy. So they'll have 3 grandsons on that side. But it was really good. And it was my mama's birthday on the same day as Leo. So yeah, really good turnout. Now I wanted to show you my Spotify list because I've been seeing everybody's list pop up, and this is the time of the year that Spotify throws out everybody's what you've been listening to most. And look,
it's like a year-end wrap-up of this is what 2023 looked like.
This is what it looked like for me. So I listened for 4,215 minutes. And I must admit, I do play Josh Tatofi's song, this I'm Gonna Love You. I play that like a lot. Because I love that song. And then
so it's 4,200 minutes. I see that there. Is that a high number for you? Is that an average number?
I don't know. I have no idea if that's an average number because this is the first time I actually paid attention. So I don't know what it looks like. Outside of this is my first year actually paying attention to Spotify and the numbers that they pop up. So I'll compare it next year.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and Estelle, I love Estelle, and then Whole Vibe. I love that. And then Estelle is Come Over. That's the song that I listen to. I think at least every other day. DJ Noise, Whole Vibe. I listen to that. And then Rihanna, of course, that's your girl.
Riri's awful low on that list. I don't know about number 4.
Yeah, she's number 4 on my list, and I think I listen to her when I need some energy. And then Lomez Brown. I mean, I'm sure there's other artists on there, but these are just like my top 5. And then I guess my top genre is urban contemporary.
Uh-huh.
I love that. But that's me and my check-in. But I love that Spotify does that. And so, and next year, of course, I'm going to compare it to this year's list. So, yeah.
365 days a year. That's
365 days.
10, a little over 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, Spotify actually has a person or a app that does that. So, okay, go ahead. But yeah,
Nice.
so other than that,
Thanksgiving? Because that's what now I realize. It just took me this long to figure out why didn't we have a show last Thursday? Because it was Thanksgiving. So what did the Moley family do for Thanksgiving?
so Thanksgiving, my brothers and their family came over, turkey, and it was Mac was sick, so he didn't come over, but my grandbabies and Kea came over to Thanksgiving, and Mac was sick. And then Pete's kids, Nico is in San Diego, so he had Thanksgiving with my mom.
Mhm.
And then Lena and Noah, they were sick, so just Pete and Malia
Nice.
came over. I know, just Pete and Malia came over. And then, of course, my boo-boo is in Maine, so I had 2 kids missing. Pete had
Your
all
national champion, boo-boo.
I know, my national was missing. So I had 2 of my kids missing. Pete had all his kids missing. So we pretty much just ate. And then, of course, my neighbors brought over, what was it? Cake. They brought over a guava cake. A guava cake. Yes. And they had their event. They were very busy, my neighbors. And they brought over a very delicious guava cake. And they had just picked up Jaya Sailua from the airport. And on their way back, they dropped off a guava cake, which I love. So thank you to my
Of course they did. Of course they did.
Yes. So thank you to my unwhite family who live around the corner from me, who every holiday, every time they have some kind of feast, they send over a plate of food or a dessert. So, and then we exchange, I'm like, I know they're coming. So I made them a platter of food. And so when Reno came over, we exchanged food.
So when you said my neighbors, I was thinking the house to the left or the house to the right. And I was like, I didn't know y'all were like that. Like you guys, because I was thinking immediate neighbors. Right.
No, not my immediate neighbor. My neighbor's a couple of blocks away. So
gotcha.
Unwise always are so gracious, and they always think of us. They're very humble and very, I don't know, what is it? They're very
facile more, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Maury's checking in. I'm sure she's either at SFO or at home. Our Maury. So that was my Thanksgiving. Of course, the next day we were just burnt out and tired, and I was trying to spring clean. And so
in the winter,
I didn't winter clean. I didn't get very far. So, because, the parentals, like my Tama Kalimi is, he had hurt himself. He fell and fractured his hip. So we're like, is he moving back? Like, I want them to come home. But they're very independent down south in Southern California. And so my sister and my niece are down there visiting. And so, so that was it, just, my pop fell, and so our family's been going frantic people have been taking turns getting down there, and I've been crazy busy with work and PBD, cover everything and anything, and so I will get to Southern California after I talk to my sister who's down there and give me the real deal. Give me the real deal. So yeah, that was my Thanksgiving. Emily is
Everybody
hi,
reporting in.
Emily.
Is
Emily
that
is
Emily?
yes.
Emily Martinez. How you doing? I just saw her when I was in Fort Bragg.
Nice. And so I'm just so sad for you. You had I mean, it's kind of like, well, I what is that saying? It's like kind of, I mean, it's sad but also grateful for the time.
Bittersweet. Yeah,
Bittersweet. There you go.
bittersweet. So, my mom has been battling Parkinson's for years, and we've been blessed that she kept her mind right. So she had the tremors, she had the shakes. It was, and that's hard to watch as a loved one is, just struggling to put food in their mouth, right? It's been a struggle to watch, but we've been blessed that she's had her mind, right? So over the years, we've been able to have those meaningful conversations. She's still, responding, and we're still communicating. So she had fallen down. So when I hear you talk about Tama, and he's 95, like but independence are, our elders are, they want to be independent. My mom was living alone, like she's 85 years old, and she did not, she told me she wanted, I said, so this is probably going to be is this the last place you're going to leave? She said, I plan on leaving here with my shoes on. So she wanted to die at home. That didn't work out. She ended up falling down, and she was in the ICU. And it was about 4 weeks from when she fell down to when she passed. She passed this last Saturday on the 25th, 2 days after Thanksgiving. So the family really converged on Fort Bragg over the past 4 weeks. And there were some really touching moments that we had bedside. She was sober 43 years, and the AA people came and had meetings in her room, and she used to do that for people that were in the hospital and in the convalescent home. She organized those kind of meetings and had those in the rooms. So it was like the AA community was kind of paying it back for what she had done. She'd volunteered time at the senior center, and I posted that on my social media about how I see life is really how my parents raised me, right? So my love for animals, if you know me and you got a dog, you know that I'm always kidding around with Nacky. When are y'all leaving town? Like all of you leaving town so that I can dog sit. I dog sit for other people. I just love animals, and I think that comes from my mom. So we had people family came from as far away as like Kentucky, Seattle, Sacramento, obviously. And she was released from the hospital, and she went to the convalescent home. She was there, I think, 2 weeks. And then she passed, but she passed with, family there with her. At the end, we were spending long, long days, being there because, I kind of got into it with one of the nurses because I was asking, hey, I don't think she got her meds. And the nurse went and got the CNA, went and got the nurse. Nurse came storming back in the room and was like, who's asking? But nobody's going to look out for, nobody's going to look out as well as family will. Right. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, I've got 70 patients here. And I was like, that's kind of the point, right? Like I've only got one mom. And my niece Emily, who's on the show, was sitting there, and I was like, she's only got this grandmother that she's worried about right now. Like, I get you have all the patients. So being there for her and making sure that she got her meds on time, and I think that the facility, we were there all day, bunches of us. My cousin Coco, God bless her, actually came twice. Once she was in the hospital, and then she came the next week and stayed all week, and she was there all day long. She was there from breakfast to dinner, and then I was there. I actually worked from my mom's house because I work remotely, so I was able to work from my mom's house until 1 or 2, and then head over to the facility and be there. But yeah, blessed for the moments that we had at the end, and
Yeah.
God bless her, rest in peace. She's
Yeah.
gone in a better place now. It's kind of a surreal, piece, because my dad, he died at 95, almost 96,
Yeah.
and he had a longer decline. Right, we had much longer kind of runway for him to transition. This was, fairly fast with my mom. So, the emotions have been deep, and a lot of bedside talk of make sure there's no resentments, make sure that we say what we got to say, that I don't have anything that I wish I would have said that I didn't say. And so kind of making those minutes count when I was there, was trying to be just very present and have those conversations. So she said something at the end. She said, if I had known dying was this fun, I'd have done it last year. I'd done it before now.
Aw.
Because she got a kick out of everybody, showing up. But at the same time, she felt like it was probably a burden for, people to come. And I get that, right? Like, I'm like, I don't know that I want, if I'm in that same position, people to come sit beside the bed. Like, I want them to live their life. But at the same time, that process is for the people too, right? That was for me and my sister and Emily, and, the family is going through it as well. It's not just the person that's passing. So tough times, but
Yeah.
2 days after Thanksgiving, the triplets were able to be there. They left Friday, and then she passed on Saturday. So
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it was it, and like you said, it's bittersweet. I'm glad she can rest. She's at peace. I know my mom and my dad both hated those strollers. I mean, they loved the strollers because it gave them some freedom more than they would if they didn't have them. But I always looked at that with the strollers and knew they were like, I can't wait to be free of this. And that's the good thing about this life, right? The next life, you don't have the strollers. You live the you live the life you want. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and I appreciate you picking up everything for PBD.
Yeah.
For those listening, the events, the shows. I think Naki did the show by herself the week before Thanksgiving. You, my ace. I appreciate you picking it up.
No problem. No. I have to keep busy all the time, so it wasn't a problem for me, of course. So anytime.
Yeah.
And you had the Naopo
So I had
board.
the NAOPO board meeting. The National Association of Pacifica Organization is a national organization of a bunch of different 30-something states. There are organizations that are in that association that are operating in 32 states, I think. PBD was one of the founding members, and I'm on the board as the board secretary. And we had that meeting in the Bay Area. Bay Area ended up being kind of the halfway point for the Pacific. People were coming in from the Pacific, and people coming from as far east as Arkansas. So they wanted to meet on the West Coast, and San Francisco ended up being the place they wanted to meet. And I thought, I know the space. Le Maota, Samoan Solutions Space, is where we had the meeting. So Naopo was in there this week. We had the meeting. Tafili Saunoa came from Pacifica POA of Alaska. She came and she brought salmon. And so for those of you here in California, there is no commercial salmon season this year. California canceled the season. And you are able to fish. There's limits for people that live in Alaska. So she brought salmon. I was able to pack a big old, 2-pound fillet of salmon that she brought for the other board members. So I was able to bring that home. And then I don't know if you have the picture of the business card, but I wasn't able to make dinner the first night. The first night I had a bunch of family. My mother, obviously had passed away 3 or 4 days before. So I had some things to take care of and I just needed a rest. So I did not make it to dinner the first night. But the next day at the meeting, they were talking about how great the food was. And they had falifu kalo, and Dr. Nia Aitaoto had like red snapper on banana leaves. Like
Oh, wow.
they're all this, Pacifica food, and I was like, where is this place? And it's called Shock, Shiok, and it is really a blend of Malaysian, Chinese, Indian, Micronesian cuisine. One of the board members, Josie Howard of We Are Oceania in Hawaii, one of her family members, is one of the owners of the restaurant. But there is a ton of Pacific food, stuff that I didn't know was sold. So I thought I would share that. If you're on the peninsula or really in the Bay Area, that's where they had dinner, and you know how discerning the people that are in Naopo, they know their food, right? They were not going to come back and say the food was good if it was bad. So shout out to them. They have evidently fed the board really well. And looks like we'll be in Southern California for the next board meeting. And we're going to talk to some of the CBOs in Southern California and see what's what.
Awesome. I think we have our we're gonna have to go check that out because I love Fali Fukalo. So
I sent you the note immediately. I was like, is that on the menu? Yep, on the menu, and the red snapper on banana leaves. I was like, oh yeah, we'll be there soon.
Awesome. Thank you for the update. We have our community announcements.
Who are we starting out? Ray of Light? Is that what we're going to start with?
Yeah, we're going to start with Ray of Light. Yes, exactly.
Ray of Light is happening this holiday season. If you're a widow or know someone who could benefit from their support, then we encourage you to apply. Their holiday program aims to provide essential items, treats, and gifts to bring a little cheer and warmth to those who need it most. Click the link in their bio for more information.
Yay. Holiday Nesian Night Market will be held on December 9th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Lema Alta, 833 Mahler Road in Burlingame. Shop Pacifica merch vendors and Pacifica food vendors and keep your dollar brown. Check flyer for point of contact information, and we will see you there.
Keep your dollar brown. I like that. Pacific Islands Together annual Christmas giveaway is happening December 16th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Bayshore Elementary School for children newborn to 16 years old. Register by December 1st by clicking the link in their bio or on the flyer posted on social media.
Okay. Sorry about that. Batasi Youth Services and all my Usos present Open Gym Night. Join them for an exciting and active evening of fun. This will run every Monday for the next 6 weeks at Balenga Gym, 500 Felton in San Francisco. All ages are welcome. Come and enjoy a variety of pickup games and recreational activities. It's the perfect opportunity to socialize, exercise, and make new friends. Sign up by clicking the link in their bio or the QR code on the flyer that we share all over social media.
That looks like fun. All right. Mana Pacifica presents Healing, Mind, Body, and Spirit on December 9th from 1 to 4 p.m. at SCDC in San Francisco. Healing Talanoa, lay making, nutritious potluck, and more. Register on their IG page by clicking the link in their bio by December 6th.
Awesome. Pie Fest presents Matayo's Maker Meetup on Saturday, December 2nd. That's this Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m. at 977 Sneath Lane, San Bruno. It's a free event with STEM activities for K to 5th graders and STEM toy giveaways while supplies last. Register by clicking the link in their bio on Instagram.
Nice. Real quick before we go to our interview, I'll just say it and we can just move on without any other comments. Steelers win. That's the NFL wrap up. Let's go ahead and go to the. We don't need to talk. You got a big game coming up. You got a big game coming up this Sunday.
Yeah,
You're
the
playing
Niners.
the Eagles.
Yeah, if you didn't know they won, that's all that really matters. That's all that really matters. We do care that Seattle lost and the Steelers, but it's whatever. We're gonna check with Butter and Spice and see who they root for, and then we'll make it happen. Depending on who Butter and Spice picks, they may or may not be welcome back. We have Melina with Butter and Spice. Thank you so much for joining us. Ooh. There you go. There you go. Hey, Melina.
Hello.
Thank you
Hi.
so much for
Thanks
joining
for
us.
joining us.
Of course.
We're so excited. We know that you guys are, Pacific. You and your sister Marlene,
Mhm.
are the wizards that I say the wizards behind Butter and Spice, and you guys are also behind Polypreneur Club, and so we're excited about that because that's this Saturday that we will see you there.
Yeah.
We will see
Yeah.
you there. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself first and your family and where you grew up and everything amazing about you?
See, my name's Melina Tagoai-Faataui. Happily married to Larry Faataui. I do have two beautiful, wonderful kids, Pearl and Alzado. And my parents are Penina and Biliamu. Sorry. Did you want to go through the whole lineage?
Yes,
And
no,
my
that's
grandparents, of course, is Reverend Elder Isaako Poti and Roberta Poti. Sorry, where's my sister?
yeah, no, you're
And
good.
then, give me a second. She's texting me.
I know that
Sorry.
your grandparents, is it your grandparents,
Mhm.
Isako? That's one of
Yeah.
the like back in the day, there was, main churches that were like the staple of the Bay Area and was Isako Angwai's church,
Oh,
King
yeah.
Church. And I think back then all the churches were so connected and the community was so huge. We all know your grandfather's church. And
Oh,
we've all grown up hanging out with your mom and your uncles. And so I'm old child. I hang out with your parents. So do you have siblings? Like, yeah, and where
yeah,
did you?
I do. Sorry. And then my dad's parents are Salavao and Pei, and then my grandpa Malo and grandma Sose. We grew up in Daly City. I'm proudly from Daly City. We all grew up in Daly City. Yeah, my siblings, there's four of us, myself, the oldest, Sangia, Marlene, who's not here, and Willie, our brother.
Awesome, awesome. Now I see Butter and Spice everywhere, everywhere. And then we, of course, had the honor, which we're not done using you guys to cater, but we had you guys cater one of our events. And the food is amazing, amazing, amazing. What made you guys get started and why?
So, what we, I believe in 2017, that's when we just sat down and we're like, you know what, I think we should try like cooking and catering. So we just tried it. I, the our love for cooking. I'm sorry. Our love for cooking is what made us really start. We did have to cook a lot for our grandparents as well. So it was kind of like my sister. You have to make the pork chop soft. You have to not too salty, not too sweet on the dessert. So it's kind of like that. Um, so right when we got to satisfy their taste buds, we're like, oh, maybe we should try this, try it out, and do it. So we just did it. We did it. When we first started, people were just looking at it like, oh, it's just another plate sale. It wasn't very common. I want to say back
Yeah.
then in 2017, it wasn't very common for, food businesses to just be out there and selling food without it being like a church fundraiser, a family fundraiser. Um, So that was kind of the feedback we were getting back then. But then we also did get a lot of support as well from everyone. We didn't think we would get that much support.
Mhm.
And then after our first sale was shrimp and crab oil. That was our first sale. We had to have it over 2 days because I believe we had about 200 orders and we were doing it. We're like, what did we get ourselves into? And then after that, we were just like, okay, we got to keep going. And then, of course, we stopped a little bit. and then came back and then stopped again. And we just decided 2022, me and my sister had like a serious discussion, and we're like, do we really want to do this? Is butter and spice something that is it in our heart, first of all? Like, is butter and spice in our heart? Is that something we want to do? Is it something we want to grow? Um, is it something that's for us? Does it
Mm,
fit with us? And just all the questions come to your head.
yeah.
And we both said yes. It's what we want to do. Our love for food is what we put out in our product. So we do everything we put out, we pray and we hope, and we're always nervous. We're like, oh my gosh, I hope everything just came out how it's supposed to come out. So yeah, that's how we started, and we're here still.
I love it. I love your food everywhere I go. And so that the pit what is the event that happens every May? Um
The
Shine,
shine.
the
shine day.
shine
Yeah.
event. So all the time I go over to you guys' booth, you're sold out. And so I'm like, all the time I go, and I get there early too, and people are in line, and then I go, "Oh, I'll come back." And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do that next year though. I'm just gonna stand there. I'm just gonna stand because I go, "Oh, I'll come back when it's not busy." And then when I come back, you guys are sold out because you guys always sell
Yeah.
out because the food is so good. And then when we had our event, I understand. I've had this shrimp, the garlic shrimp. I
Oh,
have that all the time. It is so good. I don't know who
thank
makes
you.
that, which one of y'all make that, but that is the best. And so I'm having a Christmas party, so check your email. But we love. And so then the event that we had recently was our class, which was our
Yeah.
closing of our class, our photography and videography class. And my daughter said, let's do butter and spice. Let's do butter and spice. And so we go, okay. And the food, there was a shrimp, is it shrimp roll? And then the
Yeah.
starters, then we had, I mean, everything was delicious. Everybody kept raving about the food. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So you are our go-to caterers, just so you
Oh,
know.
thank you.
Um, but why
Thank
the name
you.
butter and spice?
So butter and spice, like I mentioned earlier, my sister and I were just discussing it in 2017. And butter is a common ingredient in all our recipes on the food side, on the baking side. So, we do go through pounds and pounds of butter and
True.
real butter at that. I'm sorry, just a minute.
Love it. But you
Um,
could tell. You could tell that you guys use real butter just because the desserts are so good. What is that pineapple square that you guys do?
oh, the half moon pie bars. Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Oh, thank
Those
you.
are my favorite. Those are
Yeah,
so
so
good.
that's the butter part of the name, and then we're trying to figure out the second part. Like we didn't just want to be called butter. Um, so the second name was spice because we love our seasoning, we love our spices, um, and even in some dessert items, we do use a little spice, but not too much, just
Right.
a
Right.
hint. So
So good.
that's
It's
where the
so
name came from. So we're like butter and spice, butter and spice. Okay, yeah, we love it. Let's go with it. This is our name. We're like, we need a logo. We went to our little brother. We're like, we just need a simple logo. We're just simplicity. We're just simple. We just like simple things.
yeah, straight
So
to
he
the point.
made it.
Right.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, we love it. Post it. We posted it, and that's how we started.
Awesome.
I think butter's somewhat universal to like
Yes.
everything that's better with butter. There's a place that Naki and I love to eat at here in Sacramento. It's called Bacon and Butter.
Oh,
Same
oh, I
idea,
heard of
right?
that place. Yeah.
It butter and spice evokes that like, oh, I wonder the taste. Like, what does
Yeah.
that taste like? Is there so these are foods and dishes that you and your sister were preparing before the business opened. Is there a point now where you're not the ones preparing it because now you've grown, right? Where
Yeah.
recipes needed, or are you still able to just throw it together without writing things down for other people to put together. You know what I mean? Because when you first start,
Yeah.
obviously, you know exactly how much of what goes in at what time. But if there's other people preparing it, are you writing things down for other people to help them make sure that they keep the taste right?
So that part, no, we don't have anyone else helping preparing our dishes. Maybe prep work,
Mm.
if that, but not really. Prep
Mm,
work only if it's like my kid's barbecue party or a family member's party. However, if it's for the public, no, it's just my sister and I. Um,
that's why it's
we
so
just have this,
consistent.
yeah, we just have this thing where if too many hands get on a recipe, it's not going to taste the same. So that's why it's just, yeah, it's just us two. The cooking part, we both have our own ways of cooking. Um, like for me, if she gives me her seafood boil recipe, I know it, but I can't perfect her sauce at all.
Mm,
She'll let me know, I'll make it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't get it right. It's stuff like that. So we just think to ourselves, okay, if we give this recipe, like if we hire on help and give them this recipe, will it taste the same as the original recipe?
certainly.
It's stuff like that. Like we know eventually we're going to need help, but as we just it just has us in a chokehold. We just can't ask for help right now
That's good, right?
because
Because
we
your
have our
dream,
way of doing things.
yeah, and that's it's important, right, at the beginning to make sure that that the food that people are getting, they have that reaction, that same reaction, right? And when
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same hands making it, is there a dish? Obviously, I'm interested in what your favorite dish is,
Mm.
but is there a dish that you especially like to make because a certain person or certain people love it? You know what I mean? Like, is there a dish that your elder, that your auntie or somebody special that you love to prepare because they love it so much? Is there a dish that you have that comes to mind?
That dish is meatloaf. We grew up
Mm,
on meatloaf. My grandma, she was the best meatloaf maker ever. So it's meatloaf. We love meatloaf. Like our whole family, our Poti side loves meatloaf. And my Tongwai side, like we just, it's just something about meatloaf. Simple meatloaf, not too much add-on, just the old-fashioned meatloaf. Um, and I believe our love for meatloaf is because of our grandma.
nice.
Yeah, so
And
that's the dish. And
I'm
it's
putting
not very common anymore. We tried to sell it, like, okay, no one's really buying this. But that's just the thing with business. You have to see what works and what doesn't.
Is it her recipe when you make it?
Yeah, you know what? She showed me a couple of times, and yes,
Awesome. Family secret. Butter,
yeah,
spice, and a little bit of magic that we don't have.
yeah,
yeah.
Grandma's magic.
Fia Tassi said, "Keep up the good work. Proud of you,
Oh,
girls.
thank
Love
you,
you."
Auntie.
Yay! I don't know who my spam is, but they said yes.
Oh, well, yes, my spam.
Yes, thank you, my spam. Out of all the dishes, and you're saying the meatloaf, what is your top seller?
Um, our top seller is garlic shrimp and the seafood boil pans.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I had a
Nacky
couple.
helps with your garlic shrimp sales. Nacky helps with
Yeah,
that.
Thank you.
I love that.
And
I
that
love.
too, like the garlic shrimp, I make the garlic shrimp, and then my sister does the seafood boil. So when she does my garlic sauce, it doesn't come out right. Like I'm always like, why would you boil my sauce so long? And she'll be like, what did you put in my sauce? It's that. Like it
Yeah,
just we just can't make each other sauce. And it's that too why we also don't ask for help.
That's the magic.
Mhm.
it's the magic. Phil says butter and spice going up. I need that meatloaf. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We do have meatloafs every Wednesday at Daly City at their bingo hall. So we just got their kitchen on Wednesdays, and our top seller for Wednesdays is meatloaf.
Good
Oh,
to
nice.
know.
Yeah, at the
On Annie
bingo.
Street? Is it on
So yeah,
Annie Street? Yeah.
Annie Street Bingo, yeah. And we were shocked that was, yeah, sold out every Wednesday.
Word'll get around. because
You
we
guys
love good
started,
food.
right?
So
Did you just
Well,
start on Wednesdays?
we just started. Yep, yep. This is our third week. Yesterday was our third Wednesday.
Nice. Now, what are you guys pop up at events? What is the next
Yeah.
events that you? What's the next event that you guys
Our next
pre?
event will be Nesian Market. We'll be at the Holiday Nesian Market.
ooh,
Yes. We'll be there, but we'll be only selling desserts and I believe coffee and hot cocoa.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. We're
very
gonna
holiday season-ish.
yeah.
Love it.
holiday season. Are you guys busy? Is there any time during the year that you guys we're on a break, or are you like all year round?
We're year round. You know what? Honestly, we just started catering in April.
What?
Like we just started catering in April. We did like little catering, like just a few people. However, our biggest catering was in April, and it was just a train reaction. We were just getting booked back to back to back. So now I can't really say when our break
Yeah.
will be since we're taking catering full on now, um, full time.
And is
But
this
we
your
try
everyday
to.
job?
What was that?
Is this is your job, right? Like, or do
Yes,
you
this
have,
is.
because like Carl and I have a 9 to 5, and then we do this outside our 9 to 5.
No, we actually both left our jobs, and after we had our serious conversation about butter and spice, we left. And yes, it's been hard. Well, it was hard. Now that it's picking up, it's getting better. But there's still struggles, even with
Yeah.
owning a business and stuff. It's
Yes.
still like a 9 to 5,
Yes.
but it's more like 24 hours.
Yeah, to literally 24 hours when you
Yeah,
have your own business, it's not 9 to 5 like it's like you're working
every
7 days a week, 24/7. So we
yeah.
totally we get that. We get that. Um, I love food. So that's why I'm like, when are we gonna get these guys on? When are we and I know you guys have been busy and
Yeah.
I'm literally harassing people, but I love that I go to events and I see you guys are there. Like the wedding, my nephew's wedding, I popped up to, and you guys were there. I think it was like
Oh,
the day after our event or that week of
yeah.
our,
I
and
think
then we popped. I
yeah.
go, oh my god, look at it, they're here, and we hijacked all those pineapple pies. Sorry, Sua. Oh my god, those were so good. Those were so
Yeah,
good.
and the Half Moon Pie bars, we just started making those too. We had like a family night. Because remember back in the days, the Sebas, we
Yes.
had like a family night sale and dessert was free. And me and my sister were like, I don't know, I don't want to do a cake, I don't want to do a cookie, a brownie. Like, what's something common in our Pacific Islander culture? And it was that we came up with that. So
That's
it's
so good. That is so good.
thank
It's so
you.
original and it's so flaky, and oh my god. I hijacked a lot of those, from the wedding. So I had, like I had one every day for, like, 5 days. Um,
Oh,
sorry. I
it's
just
okay.
busted myself out. I just busted myself out. I just busted myself out. Sorry, y'all.
Are there any any dishes that you're working on where you're like we're thinking of doing these, or you're thinking of doing a different dish, or are you focusing on the menu that you have?
So our catering menu is completely different from what we have on pop-up menus. So our pop-up menu, that's our menu because it's quick and easy for us to get the orders out. When we did try to add more menus to the pop-up events, our lines were getting longer and the wait time was getting longer. So
Mm.
we strictly have those items for pop-ups. So our catering menu is where we're able to be like a little bit more unique, like, oh, let's try this, let's add this. And also, when we do reach out to when we reply back, and I'll get back to you, Naki. I will get back to your email. We do ask if there's an item not listed on our menu that you would like to add to your menu, and we'll make it for you.
Was meatloaf on the
Is
menu?
meatloaf? Yeah, if you want meatloaf, yep, we can add it. So a dish that we're working on. Let's see. I don't. What are we working on right now?
That makes sense. You're making.
Yeah, we're not working on any. Oh, we are working on trying to figure out how to do like a fusion Pacific Islander
Mm,
item.
Mm.
Just so that's what we've been working on. But there's so many other businesses out there that have fusion Pacific Islander food. So it's like, no, we can't do that. Only
But they
because,
don't have
that's
your
their
bars.
specialty.
They don't
Yeah.
have your bar. And Phil, look at Phil. Phil's like, please package those bars.
Oh,
Bars. So true. So true. And then Eri said, hey, but when you gonna change the game with a spicy palusami
you know
though?
what? You know what? We do add a little spice, like a
Okay.
little hint of spiciness to some of our food. And I feel like our Pacific Islander, like our elders, aren't really big on spiciness.
Right.
Hmm.
So we just keep it, original.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, that's a good one.
When we
We
went
did like
to
a,
when we went to Bolu in 2019, there was one of the restaurants had palusami pizza, and there were all the critics before that hit the table were like, I don't want my palusami on pizza. That was
yeah,
so good. That was unbelievably good, and everybody was like, all right, I guess if I wouldn't have.
right, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that some people they ordered it just to see what it was, but
Mhm.
that pizza disappeared quickly once it hit the table. So, you can
Pretty
open
sure.
eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Palusami pizza.
It
That
didn't
sounds
sound
good.
good. It didn't sound good, and we were like, okay. And that was the first pizza because we had ordered like 3 pizzas. That one was the first one to go. I was kind of surprised it was that good. So,
We got another one. We actually ordered a second one.
Oh, nice. I believe it's probably like the crust, and then the coconut cream and the leaf. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of it right now.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what everybody at the
So
table was doing. We're like, wait, how is that
yeah,
gonna work? A
so
pizza? And I can remember my cousin was one of them who was like, I don't need my palusami on a pizza. And she
He
was
was
one of the
feeling
ones that was like, let's order another one.
yeah, yeah. See, it's like that. Like we're so used to tell our ways, like different things. It's kind of like what?
and
But
you
we
know,
did add a little
I'm
Cajun seasoning to our palusami once, or our luau pisupo. We don't make palusami, sorry, but we do the luau, and we added Cajun seasoning to it. It tasted good, but it just didn't have that wow factor that we look for when we
mm,
put out dishes. So that was 86
yeah.
from the menu.
Hey, you gotta try, and if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
then you move on to something else.
Yep.
I love you guys' food. You know that. I'm always bragging about y'all. But you have started Polypreneur Club, which is happening this Saturday. Can you tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about that or a lot about it and why you started it?
So we started Polypreneur because, like I mentioned, we just started catering like in March or April, and just switching over to the catering side of the world, it's a whole new world, whole set of paperwork, license, permits. It's it's when we're filling it out and just the verbiage on the forms, like what? I don't. What are you talking about? What is it? Like what? All these numbers, just that. So just
Stuff
getting the
nobody told
paperwork
you.
ready. Yeah, it was a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot. It's still a lot. And in my head, I'm like, dang, I wonder how many of our people stopped because paperwork.
right,
Like,
right.
of course, everyone wants to be legit. Everybody wants their business to flourish. We all do. But, the paperwork, going through all these, everything, just, it's just irritating sometimes, or a lot of times. It's that, like, so for us doing all that paperwork, everything, it was just like, okay, I need help. I need help. Where can I get help? And I'm just researching, like, who can help me with this, and it's
Mm.
oh, pay $200 a month and you'll get my services for this, or pay $50 a month. It's like, why do I have to pay someone? Is there any way I could learn this on my own? Is there anyone I can ask? But now, so yeah, so that was a big push for us to start Polypreneur for our small businesses, because if it was hard for me, it may not be hard for everyone, but I'm pretty sure it was hard for a few people.
Yeah.
And it's
So that's,
there are people out there, and it's really good that you're doing this, because there's people out there that will help. When we started,
yeah,
we were the same thing. We're like, we have no idea how to do this, and then we ended up talking to Patsy Tito at Samoan Community Development Center, and she helped us. And then we wanted to do something else, and we ended up talking to Epi and Fanga from Samoan Solutions. But
yeah,
to have the focus of an event, or have the, so you're not trying to shop around or ask who knows who or that kind of
yeah,
thing, it really is needed, because there's not only do people not do things because of the paperwork, some of them do it kind of on the under, but then they
yeah,
know they're not going to blow up, because to blow
yeah,
up you're going to need the paperwork, so they kind of dabble in it, but then they never really get to see how far it's going to take them and dive in, because they're kind of hamstrung because they don't have the paper. So I think
yeah,
it's very
And
needed, because there are people out there that will share their knowledge, but you got to know, where to go, or you got to know who to ask. And if you don't, then maybe you just do like you said, you just walk away from it.
yeah,
can you
yeah,
imagine how many amazing ideas died out because they just couldn't deal with the paperwork, or
yeah,
the
just,
red tape that goes along with
yeah.
starting a business? Like,
Or they just didn't. I feel like a lot of us also, we feel like we don't have the support. Um, the support is there, don't get me wrong, but it's just our mentality telling ourselves, like, oh, who's going to help us? It's
Right.
us asking for help, reaching out to our community to help us. And, like Carl said, there's help out there. And there really is. A lot of people are willing to help everyone. We just got to find it.
I love that. I love that because we know how it feels to start something and have a bunch of questions and nobody to ask.
Yeah.
And then you've got to go find the answer yourself. And if somebody else, and then people that have started after us have been, oh, I can't, we're like, this is what you do. It's like, this is such a great idea. I love that you guys are doing this. It's just pushing our own community forward with, you can start your own business, do it here. We can help you. And having this setting or Polypreneur Club to get everybody together to talk about what you need. Did you do this? This worked for me. This didn't work for me. So
Mhm.
I love, love, love that you guys are doing this. And then
Thank you.
you guys are having your meeting this Saturday,
Yeah.
and you would have had to register before showing up, right?
No, so to register was only to give us a idea of the head count. No, you're just able to show up.
Oh,
Um, but thank you for registering.
yeah, I know. I was like, "Oh, we're going, we're going." I had it register me, and then I registered Carl, and I was like, "Who else want to go? Who else want to go? This is a
Yeah.
great idea." And then you were posting all the other ones, and I was like, I kept saying, "I can't make it, I can't make it." And then when I seen the date, I was like, "Oh, we're going, we're going."
Yeah. Thank you
You know,
guys. We're looking
it
forward to
also
this one.
it also shows the people behind you that you're reaching back and you're helping, right? So there's going to be entrepreneurs that attend this event and get help from it, that later when they go forward, they'll know, oh, I got help. Somebody reached back. You know what I mean? So this is good in the fact that, obviously you're going to give some practical knowledge to people, and people are going to share it and make connections, but it's also modeling for how it should be done, right? So if you're, I think Naki said that in an interview, if you climb ahead, then reach back and find somebody and give them a hand and help them get there too. So there's the community effect of it, and then obviously there's the tactical stuff. People are going to meet people and get answers right away, but it's really, our community needs it, and we're built for it, right? We want to, there are people out there that want to help, but the people who need the help got to know, who those people are.
Yeah.
Melina, you have guest speakers at every meeting?
We've just been picking on Fusi and Phil to speak.
I know. I was like, isn't Phil speaking this week?
Yeah, Phil, actually, I mentioned this too at our first Polypreneur. We had a discussion in 2022 at PI Day, and he was talking about, I always wanted to just bring all our small businesses together and just have a networking event. And that idea just stuck with me, and I just took it and ran along. Thank you, Phil.
Yes.
He does support us a lot. He's always there.
He's a big
Fusi
supporter.
too. Fusi, she dropped gems at our last one. Like what you pay to learn, she gave it to us within like 40 minutes. We're like, oh my gosh.
So awesome. I love Phil. We've had Phil on a couple of times, but he really does keep it real. And you really, to be an entrepreneur, you really got to check your feelings at the table. He says his big supporters is not the PI community for, haircuts and stuff like that. And which is awesome and amazing that, if you do and you don't, it's just your preference. But I love that, he really opened my eyes to that. He was like, it ain't going to be your best friend. It ain't going to be your family member. It's going to be people outside of your circle that really, and nothing wrong with that. It's just the reality, really. It's just the reality.
The only knock on Phil, honestly, is that he's a Niner fan. Yeah, other than that, he's just a fantastic entrepreneur, great guy.
I'm punching for you.
Phil, I'm a Niner fan too. So
I got you, Phil. I got you. I'm gonna punch him later.
So this Saturday we do have some great speakers this weekend, and I have this event I can plan it out. My sister and we really were able to focus on butter and spice, while our team was able to just, take the lead on this. And they're the ones who, they got the speakers, they came up with the idea, they planned the entire event. And that's Michelle, Alanimo, and Melanie. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
So I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, if I didn't have them, I don't know if I would be able to host the event on this weekend. But yeah, so shout out to them. They're able to get CJ with See Me Photography, Tino, Penina's Mixes, Becca, she wears many hats. Phil, of course, we're always going to get Phil. Who else? Oh, JP, I'm obligated. I'm grateful to have him on because, he has Sunday small business Sundays, and he's been hosting that event for a while. I think over a year now. And it's like I'm only discussing this event because it's been there. It's been there. He's been trying to bring in our community to support our small vendors. And again, he was hosting one or twice a month for over a year. And that event, we would make it when we can, but when we do make it, it's always a great event. But not seeing our people come out and support is sad. Like he's out there promoting, pushing, and we're all rooting for him always. But just the support, the lack of support. It's like, where are you guys? Like, why? We understand it's a Sunday, but he really, he was the one to just bring us all together. Yep, it's been over a year. So shout out to JP Pasen, I'm obligated.
Yeah.
Keep doing your Sunday small businesses. It will get, you will see the results that needs to come.
Yeah, we love JP. He supports everyone. He's at
Yeah.
every event. He's
Yep.
not, if not the first one there, he's there, and we love
Yeah.
that. So please go follow his page,
Yep.
Mobligated clothing line. He also is a videography,
Yeah.
so go follow everything that he's a good
Yeah.
person too. He's
He
such a
is.
good
Yeah.
person, very humble. So I love that we are going to be there Saturday. The doors open at 10 a.m. It's
Hmm.
at 125 Acacia.
Acacia Street. Yeah.
Acacia
Acacia Street in Daly City.
The doors open at 10. Try to register if you haven't, just so they get a head count.
Yeah.
If not, and you try to act like you don't got a computer to register, come on down. Let's have a conversation about starting your own business, or listen to the amazing stories of
Yeah.
the entrepreneurs that will be there. Melina, we are so grateful to have you on. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Congratulations on all your success. Any shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to everyone, my family, my kids. Shout out to God, always. Our
Yes.
team, our polypreneur team, just everyone. Pacific Islands Together, some One Solutions. You guys have to check out their business membership. Like, you guys are real. If you're a business owner, please go to their page, One Solutions, and sign up for their business membership. Because you need a business address. If you're using your home address, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
So, One Solutions business membership package is an awesome deal.
I love it.
Just everyone,
I
my
love
family
seeing
especially.
the community do exactly what you're facilitating Saturday, is reaching out and making sure that other people are supported, and then hearing you shout out, other businesses, other organizations, talking about how great people are doing. The community is there. We just got to get everybody together, and you're doing a great job doing
Yeah.
that. And I love eating your food too. So I
Okay.
hope Naki's able to work that out with you, because there's the PBD team now is looking at that meatloaf.
I know. They were in the chat. Meatloaf. Calm Lalo. We wanted to give you a big shout out. We appreciate your food. You and Marlene are doing a great job. I'm so proud when we see you at all the events, and then all the
Thank you.
amazing food that you make. But I also want to shout out your family, who sacrifices time. Um,
Yeah.
the time they let you be you. And so
Yeah.
God bless you. And thank you for your time. And we will see you on Saturday.
Thank you
Okay,
so
wait,
much.
I have one more shout out.
Absolutely.
Jeff Talolo. You guys know Jeff Talolo. He
Yeah.
was the one who really pushed us to cater. And he was the first person to hire us for like a 300 guest event. And
Oh,
then after that, it's been a blessing. So shout out to Jeff. Thank you for pushing us to our
yes.
limit. Because
We
yeah.
love Jeff. And his sister be making them tacos. So,
Yeah.
and they're in
Yeah.
Vegas now. I'm so mad they're in Vegas. Yes, please go follow Butter and Spice and Polypreneur Club on Instagram. Please come on Saturday. Check them out at Nisha Night. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. And eat your food later.
Thank you guys.
Take care. Oh my gosh, she's so amazing.
It's so nice to take time out and be here with us.
Yeah.
I don't know how you landed that, but great job, Naki.
Yeah. She's very
that's-
popular, She's very
Right.
popular.
No, I don't take that lightly that we have her on the show, and then we're going to get to rub shoulders with her in a couple
On
days.
Saturday. So on Saturday, if you are in the Bay Area, a Saturday at 10 a.m., 10:30 at 125 Acacia Street in Daly City, Polypreneur Club will be getting together and discussing everything, your needs. If you're a new entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, please join us Saturday at 10:30. And then follow them on social media, Butter and Spice. Follow Phil. Phil will be one of the speakers. He's the owner of Feel Good Cuts. Also CJ Photography. She will be there. Mobligated Clothing Line, JP. So tons and tons of information will be there on Saturday. I am excited. So thank you so much to Butter and Spice for joining us this evening.
Going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. We are out of time. And we are grateful for our special guests. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please feel free to share our podcast. And we will see you in the Bay Area this weekend.
Love y'all.
Come back to Faika with us.